This is a proposal for a film school here at this site in Oakland, California. This is the site here in West Oakland, a largely economically depressed area that's been severed from both the downtown and the rest of the Bay Area. The reason this area is so cut off is because it's entirely surrounded by freeways and also by BART, the Bay Area Rapid Transit. At one time, Oakland was the end of the Transcontinental Railroad, and the Pullman porters were some of the first residents to begin living in western Oakland. Now the trains have given way to BARTs and airplanes, but the remnants of the train industry still can be found. But those remnants highlight just how hard this area is economically. It's amazing to think that all of this still exists and hasn't been torn down and redeveloped, even though the Bay Area as a whole has some of the highest land value in the entire country. This is the old train station. One asset to the area is all of the artists who've come to live here. There's a number of Burning Man collectives, and there's also the Crucible, a school for fire arts. I believe it'll be important for this new film school to reach out to all the members of the West Oakland community. The process of designing the school started with what could be done to improve this area of West Oakland. I started with one of West Oakland's most iconic sites, and unfortunately, iconic sounds. Ah yes, the BOT. Being one of the last stops before the Transbay Tube, this BART station here in western Oakland has more than 100 trains a day going past. You can imagine all the noise the neighbors must deal with. Maybe we could cover BART and turn it into a High Line like they have in New York. It's basically one big pedestrian and biking pathway through the center of the city. Why wait until BART is no longer in use to benefit from this kind of improvement? I'm proposing we wrap it in a concrete shell with bike paths and pedestrian paths on top. Our new bike path would start in downtown Oakland and travel past our site all the way out to where Oakland's coast is, effectively uniting downtown with its severed shore. This park is a beautiful place to go, but no one ever goes there because it's so hard to get to. And someday, after the new Bay Bridge opens, this park could be just one more stop on your way from downtown Oakland all the way to Treasure Island. Think about that. And even as it is now, if you go beyond the park, you can walk out on this pier way out at the end, and it's effectively as close as you can get to San Francisco from the East Bay. Just look at that view. This is where the new High Line would start. It's where BART comes above ground after downtown Oakland. Broadway Avenue already has bike lanes, so you would just be able to tootle down Broadway and ride up onto the new causeway. After a beautiful trip in the sky, here's where you would go back down to Earth. This is where BART dives underground to go into the tube. Look how unglamorous that is. This new High Line would also give purpose to this, the beautiful Mandela Parkway. It's a great biking space, but no one ever rides on it because it doesn't end up going anywhere. The High Line would change all that. So now that our new bike path has been built and BART's noise has effectively been silenced, we turn our attention to the actual building itself. The form comes from two sources: the contextual cranes that are everywhere, and the anthropomorphic romantic idea of trying to lift a community up. Here it is. The building is made of two cantilevered wings on a giant triangular base. Whoa, here we go, guys. We're going to circle around. And you can see that part of the site strategy is for it to lift up and over this new High Line. And it would also serve as one of the connecting points where you could get on or get off. On that little cantilever down there in the corner, that's a bus stop. Totally sweet, right? Okay, so now we're going to do a flyby. Hang on to your hats. Here we go. Right now we're just turning past the main entrance to go in between the big legs of the building. And here you have a view. It's gonna get rough here, but you're gonna get a little peek at an amphitheater on the other side here. Don't blink, you'll miss it. Don't blink, don't blink. Wait, there it is. That's the little amphitheater where you could also show movies. All right, now we're gonna go through the main axis of the building. That's the big lawn below. The idea is that the whole side is cement, but where the ground has been cut into, you see a remnant of the nature that used to be there. And the rest of the site is preserved for any kind of use that the community sees fit. Oh, and these things are cool. These are video projectors that could be remote control operated. Students in the film school could use them to show, say, their indie movie or whatever, or performance artists could do something like this, just project different things whenever there's an open house or any kind of an event. So one other part of this whole program is housing. And here we go. This is what one of the units would look like. That's the living room. And as we pass through, we're going to see how open the floor plan is. The main floor is made for entertaining, and the master bedroom is united with the rest of the entertaining spaces. Oh, that's the kitchen. You can see how there's all these skylights letting light in. And here's going to be the master bedroom. You can imagine what amazing views you would get from either end of these units. I don't really like the idea of putting rich person housing way up in the air in an impoverished neighborhood, but I think one positive thing is that people will see change. They will see interest in the neighborhood coming, and at least I hope so. Hey, one last thing. That great big cantilever? Well, here's the idea. You project movies on the underside of it, so people laying on the grass below can have picnics or whatever, just have a glass of wine, but they can lay back and watch the movies projected above. Kind of cool, huh? You could also project it on the side there. One of those movie camera arms could just aim up on the side wall, so you could have horizontal traditional viewing too if you wanted. All right, well, that's it. Thanks a lot.